Hello and welcome to Comprehension Points Video Snark. This video series isn't an audiobook, it is designed as commentary. This series emphasizes reading and listening comprehension skills. If you thought that this was an audiobook, maybe stick around and learn something. I also want to know why it is that you thought that this was an audiobook, because no matter how many times that I say up front that this is a detailed book review, people still get upset that this isn't an audiobook. What made you click on this? My focus is on reading books, discussing what went wrong, and suggesting ways that they could be fixed. I'm continuing my read-through of Girl in Line by Zoe Sugg and or Siobhan Curham. If you haven't seen the earlier videos, you can find the links below. Chapter 9. As you can imagine, Penny is hardly looking forward to school after the weekend she had. To make matters worse, today is the day that the play is going to open. Why on a random Monday right before Christmas break is beyond me, but sure. And then, because Penny's life wasn't enough of people dumping their problems onto her, the drama teacher runs up to her with a problem about the set design, which, no, we are not going to be painting sets hours before opening. Repairing things that have broken, yes, but not acting like those sets were never made to begin with. He also gives her no further instructions other than make graffiti happen before he dumps a bunch of spray cans into her arms and leaves. Like, thanks, but this is kind of your job, seeing as how you're the teacher and everything. Yes, Penny is supposed to be set design assistant, but again, hours before the play opens is not the time to be doing this. Alone with literally nothing but spray paint in the set that needs to be dirtied up, Penny frantically texts Elliot for help. His only advice is don't do it, you're bad at painting. Instead, he proposes that she ask the light text to project pictures of street art into the set, which is probably the way to go. Again, literally hours until open. Yes, I'm hung up over how unprofessional that this is. I understand that this is high school, but still. They continue to run around and do things to prepare for the opening of the play. When Penny does see both Meg and Ollie later, she feels less anxious about the entire thing. She's already made her decision that they're to be removed from her life like a jacket that no longer fits properly. It helps that both of them are too busy with final play prep to be mean to her anymore. The chapter ends with Penny freaking out about being asked to, take pictures, which is not only her singular job for the play, but also her hobby and passion. Why she's freaking out is beyond me, but okay. Love my Snark, I also offer book editing services where I bring that same approach to your writing. If you prefer a more traditional approach, I also offer professional book editing services. You can contact me on any of my social media platforms if you have further questions about my editing services, including pricing options. Chapter 10. The play itself goes off without a hitch. The problem is that the author doesn't know how to not make Penny make an absolute fool out of herself. As she runs on stage to take the full cast post-play lineup photo as requested, not only does she fall, but her skirt flies up and flashes everybody. Falling was apparently not enough. She had to have her skirt flip up as well. In the end, Penny literally crawls on all fours towards the nearest wing. Once in the safety of the backstage area, which is randomly devoid of literally any other stagehand or teacher, she grabs her things and runs off. As you can imagine, she immediately runs home, where she hides in her bedroom, where she tries to will herself to die. She's too embarrassed to even talk to Elliot about the entire thing, so instead she turns to everybody's second best friend in times of a crisis, a random article she found on Google. The article says that it's easier to understand things if you can attach meaning to them. This prompts Penny to list off reasons why this happened, which mainly circle around the fact that her shoes were untied and she was wearing unicorn panties. In the vacuum of Penny's life, there isn't exactly a whole lot of meaning to be found in something like this happening, other than, as mentioned, maybe make sure that your shoes are tied and that you aren't wearing a skirt when you're going to be running up onto the stage. But going back to what I said at the start of the chapter, it's like the author is hell-bent on making Penny's life as miserable as possible in the stupidest ways imaginable, for no real reason. After running through a mental list about the meaning behind why she tripped and fell and everybody saw her unicorn panties, she checks out her blog. She feels a bit better seeing people leaving comments about her previous post, which is about outgrowing friends. She falls asleep for a bit and wakes up to somebody having posted the video online. And then, if you will excuse my vulgarity, because it's obviously a literal understandable that skank-ass bitch Megan freaking tagged her in it. I would ask what's wrong with her that she thinks that this is okay, but I think that we've already worn that topic to the ground. At this point, Megan openly tagging Penny in the video and mocking her is simply par for the course. I think that I would have been disappointed if nothing ended up happening. She does send Meg a message asking to take the video down. Also predictably, Meg ignores her. The only person who is legitimately concerned for her is obviously Elliot, aka her literal and only actual friend. He warns her not to check the internet, but obviously too late for that. To make matters worse, by the time that he comes over, they make paper-thin excuses to her father as to why he's there in the early hours in the morning and go back to her room. They found that the video is suddenly all over YouTube as well. If you're interested in reading my own stories, you can purchase my spicy short stories as well as 2 full-length novels on Amazon. I also frequently run flash sales on my stories. If you're not already following me on Reddit, I recommend doing so to stay updated on when I offer free content. Reddit is currently the only place where I'm advertising myself these days. Chapter 11. Penny and Elliot go downstairs where they try to explain to her parents what going viral means. However, rather than to explain that it means when something posted to the internet goes really, really big, Elliot instead says, and I quote, like Rihanna did that time that naked video of her was posted on Twitter. However, rather than to comprehend that Elliot is talking about a celebrity, the idiot dad thinks that Elliot is instead talking about Penny because, listening comprehension is difficult. Although as the conversation continues on, the dad's confusion literally never once goes away. He asks about Penny's unicorn panties at least 5 different times, to the point where even Penny's brother and mother are screaming at him, her panties, over and over. Ugh. Is this supposed to be endearing and funny? Because it's not. Anyway, after they explain to the rest of Penny's family what happened and about the video that's going viral, Tom gets up with the intention to go down to the school. At least somebody has some common sense that the school admin should theoretically be able to punish Meg for having uploaded the video in the first place. However, I doubt that it'll do much good since it's already now on multiple websites. Something Barbara Streisand effect. I'm going to go up to the school and find everyone who's posted it online, and I'm going to make them take it down. I've never seen Tom look so mad. Mom jumps to her feet and grabs hold of his arm. You can't do that. You're not a student there anymore. Tom might not be attending the school, but there's literally nothing stopping him from going over to the headmaster and explaining what's going on. It's honestly kind of sad how little that Penny's parents actually care about their daughter. Their only concern is, you're not a student there anymore, as if that's the biggest concern right now. Don't worry, sweetheart, I'll go to the school this morning and I'll get them to take it off their Facebook page. It's the unofficial Facebook page. The teachers don't have any control over it, and so many people have been sharing it. Everyone's going to see it anyway. Yes, the damage has already been done, and everybody and their dog and the entire UK has probably already seen the video by now. But the entire point of them going to talk with the headmaster is to demand that the bullies who posted and shared and spread the video are punished. Depending on how old that Penny is, the video might even be considered as child pornography. I'm not even sorry for bringing it up, but it's clearly something that the author probably didn't even consider. She's literally flashing her underwear. I would honestly love to see everybody who participated in the spread of that video be slapped with child porn distribution charges. Actually, I have no idea what the laws in the UK are for that. Penny then has a panic attack. After it's over, with Elliot's encouragement, she tells her parents that she's been suffering them ever since the car crash. You should have told us, Mom says. Maybe it's me, but after suffering a car crash, why the hell do you simply presume that your daughter is mentally okay with everything that's happened? Of course she's mentally shaken. Anybody would be. Penny's parents are freaking trash. They belong in the rubbish bin. I know some great breathing exercises from when I used to get stage fright. Ah yes, that's gonna help with the deep psychological panic of the thought that at any moment your life could end. Yeah, hello, I also suffer from extreme car-based anxiety following somebody I knew and loved being killed in a car crash when I was 17. And let me tell you that one of the most unhelpful things that people can say is, have you tried breathing exercises? Thanks, I'm cured. The mom then attempted to smooth all of this over by insisting that Penny go with them to New York, and says that Elliot should come with them, that they'll come back on Christmas Eve, which, wow, that'll be super easy and no way will likely be delayed because of storms or anything. It's not like this happens every year or anything, but this way they can spend Christmas Day with Tom. However, the parents seem to think that all of the panty video business will blow over by the time school's winter break is over, although judging by the way things are going, I don't think that any of this is going to go the way any of them think that it will. Bonus Chapter 4. Penny's blog entry starts up with her describing the glass slipper after bad things snowball into good things, which is nice and everything, but I think it would have been better to talk about it when good things are actually happening to her. Full stop here, because we're 11 chapters in and I can think of few nice things that have happened to her. Earlier this week, something really, truly, hideously horrible happened to me, and it consumed me to have another of my stupid panic attacks. Girl, if there is ever a legitimate excuse for anybody to have a panic attack, it's after you trip and fall on stage in front of hundreds of people and everybody sees your unicorn panties. In fact, after what Meg did to her, it wouldn't surprise me if Penny developed some minor PTSD from that as well. Holy cow, talk about traumatic. She goes on to explain that she's going on a plane for the first time and that she's really afraid. However, she's hoping that some good exposure therapy will help her to overcome this. And then goes on to tell a story about how when she was little, she used to be afraid that a witch lived under her parents' bed, that she had to get away from the area as fast as she could, or else the witch would turn her into a toad. One day, her dad saw her running away from the open door with a look of terror and uncovered the truth. He then showed her under the bed. When she saw that the only thing under there was an old shoebox, she stopped being afraid. She sums up by asking her fans, subscribers, followers, whatever, about how they faced their fears in the past. Patreon has recently introduced free memberships. By joining, you'll be able to enjoy the same content I post on Tumblr, now conveniently available on Patreon. Patreon supporters can enjoy even more book snarks, starting at only $1 a month. Plus, Patreon now offers a 1-week free trial. Don't miss it! Big shout out to Phoebe for supporting me on Patreon already. If you want to hear your name in my video next week, either support me on Patreon or make a one-time donation. Chapter 12. We start off with Elliot explaining to Penny who Beyonce and Sasha Fierce is. In his defense, I also don't know who Sasha Fierce is, so I guess the long-winded explanation is kind of necessary. For those also like me, Beyonce was afraid when she first started singing, so she invented the stage persona of Sasha Fierce to help her overcome her stage fright. Sasha Fierce doesn't get stage fright, although my already low opinion of Penny sinks even lower when she needs to have Elliot spell out for her why he's telling her about Sasha Fierce. Like, she literally cannot comprehend the idea of taking on a fake name in order to fill herself up with confidence, even if that confidence boost is only needed to get onto a plane and go to America. Like, how are you this dumb? Little wonder that Megan only kept taking advantage of you. I do have sympathy for her being bullied, don't get me wrong, but at a certain point you have to understand that these people are treating you so poorly because you are allowing it to happen. After a few of Elliot's suggestions being shot down, he encourages her to come up with her own name. She eventually decides on Strong for the surname. She discards Calm as a forename, claiming that it's a rubbish name, but then immediately decides upon Ocean instead, as if that's somehow any better than Calm. Sure, whatever you say. Ocean Strong isn't a person's name, it's a motto of some kind of athletic swim mark company. Ocean Strong. As I roll the name around in my head, I picture a comic book superhero wearing a skin-tight sea green bodysuit and cape, with long auburn curly hair spilling over her shoulders. Superhero also works, I suppose. However, the exercise does its intended purpose. Instead of worrying about her upcoming flight, she instead starts to craft the personality of Ocean in her head. Penny says stuff like, Ocean wouldn't have let a little car crash affect her so much. At this point, she gets a text from Meg begging her to bring her some duty-free perfume from the airport. Penny is simply pissed off because this is the first time she's heard from Meg since the incident, trademark. Even Ollie messaged her to make sure that she was okay. Also worth noting that although Meg did take her original video down, no apology was ever given for having put it up in the first place, which is way more telling than anything. Penny doesn't reply and only turns her phone off and puts it away. She then goes back to her daydream about Ocean Strong and wonders how she'd respond to an embarrassing video of her going online. And thinking about that also helps Penny to get over the incident TM as well. Thanks for watching. New Book Snarks videos go live every Monday with occasional extras during the week. Your support means so much, even if it's not financial. Watching my videos, subscribing, and liking and sharing them with friends all go a long way in helping my channel grow. If you've already caught up with all my videos, you can go to Facebook, WordPress, Tumblr, or free on Patreon for my main Book Snarks, always free and updated every morning. Linktree for everything is posted below. See you next week, guys!